Or live streaming. Doesn't show we're live streaming. That's not me.
That is you. There's just a little delay.
We have the audio locked. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. It's not. It's. Okay, we are on. I'll turn around so I can see. Hi guys, I hope you're out there. I'm not sure if I'm here. Oh, there we go. There we go. It looks like I'm here. Oh, we're doing this without Margie today. So, yeah, it's a learning experience, but hey, we're adaptable sorts. We'll just laugh a lot as we go, as we usually do. So, anyway, let's go ahead and focus on the table, honey, and we'll go ahead and see if we can get this thing started.
I'm still trying to find where I.
Okay, I'm going to start out today by showing you a little bit about, I need the comments, honey.
Go ahead. Let me know where they are.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah. Well, while he's doing that, I'm going to show you a little bit about the supplies that we will be using today. I have out here my scissors and my detail scissors, just in case there's any little trim I want to do on, my 3D pieces. I've got my tattered lace and my detail glue bottles here. I've got my kit, and I've got a tattered lace die that I want to show you. Is that everybody here today? Yeah? Hi, Katie. Okay, well, I hope everything goes okay. Right now I see buffering on my screen. I hope you see something better on yours. Alice, nice to see you. Let's see, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Nilaris, good to see you. Betty McSorley. Hey, Betty. Nice to see you this week. Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Katie. Woo. Alice, Katie. Betty Gosno. Hi, Hi, Betty. Kathleen Kendall. Good to see you there. Alice. Sandy. Katie. Tell me if you guys are seeing anything on your screen, please. Would you move the chat window over a little bit so I can see their comments, and let's can you get it a little bit to the right?
No.
Okay. Oh, Jordan says I have an infectious laugh. That would be true. If you're going to get something from me, I'd hope it would be my laugh. I see tables, scissors, and your pretty sleeves. Okay, so are you still seeing everything? We have a little bit of a lag here. I just want to make sure. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you out there. Give me some feedback, guys. Are you seeing something now? Yes, you're seeing something. I'm watching my TV. I love your pop-up boxes. Thank you. Margie McGraw says, I'm fine. New baby is having some breathing issues, but she's coming home today. Katie, best sort of infection to get. Okay, and you are seeing me. Okay, I can't see the screen, so if you guys stop seeing me, let me know, okay? Oh, hello, Corey. I'm just going to go ahead and go, and I'm going to pay attention to the comments and ignore the rest of it because it's just buffering on my screen. But if you guys say it's working for you, then it's working for me. So we started talking about supplies. I've got my scissors, my detail scissors, 2 bottles, 2 different kinds of glue. Don't need 2 different kinds. It's my security blanket, guys. And I've got my big Caterpillar trimmer here. Yes, I know. I'm trimmer challenged. Hopefully I'll do better with that this week. I've got my class kit, and like I said, I've got these dies. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Which one you guys want to do first? You want to do pop-up box or Easter first? You tell me. What sounds more fun? I can't see your comments anymore.
I'm working on it.
Margie, you're never allowed to take a Saturday off ever again. Bryce is scowling at me, people. Poor Bryce. I get him into the darndest things, you know? Okay. Let's see. I see some guy reading the headlines off the newspaper on my screen, guys. All right. I can't hear you or see you. So, well, he's figuring that out. I think that we might begin assembling our pieces to the pop-out. Because why not? I'm glad you're laughing, Margie. I'm going to get my little lamb out here. Oh, Betty voted for pop-up. Katie voted for pop-up. Okay, you all said pop-up boxes. All right, here we go. We're going to pop-up boxes because you all voted pop-up boxes that I can see. All right, here we go. I think we are doing it, people. Okay, let's look at our kit. Those of you who got the kit from us, and that's quite a few of you, we should have 2 different sets inside your envelope. You'll have the Eastern Treasure set, and you will have the Lamb set. Inside the Eastern Treasures, let's go ahead and start there. And let me talk to you about what we have in here for those of you who do not yet have this kit. So you'll know kind of what we're using. I have 2 full pieces of cardstock plus my punch-out images. I've got some things that the girls put in the kit for me. We have 2 envelopes for our pop-up cards. Even though our card itself isn't that huge, we're going to want a good size envelope for it. So the envelope will be a little large, but it'll be okay. So when they fold down flat, you need a little extra room for anything you've got coming over the top. So we have 2 5x7 envelopes. I want to show you these boxes that we included because these are really cool. There's a number of different kinds of pop-up box templates that you can do. You can make your own if you want to, and you certainly could do that. We also sell 3 different kinds of pop-up boxes that I can think of. We have this one, which the girls did lots of die cutting for me. Thank you, Brittany. We did lots of die cutting with this one, and we actually, the cards that you have are die cut from this tattered lace set that I'll show you here in just a minute. I like these because I like this little decorative edge around the box slips. I like it because I think it's like a perfect size, and they go together really well. It cuts really super well. There is one available. The mini pop-up box cards from Hunkydory Crafts is available. I didn't bring a sample of that for you to show, but I think it's a little bit more challenging because this piece up here is really sculpted out on those cards, which kind of limits a little bit what you can do in this space. And I thought this was an easier one to use. And we also have a limited number of these box bases still left from hot off the press. We're just about to expend our supply on those, and as you know, we're not getting new stuff from hot off the press these days, so when those are gone, they're gone forever. The nice thing about it is you actually can build this yourself if you want to. Let me give you some dimensions that you could use if you wanted to build your own. The total length of the cardstock piece they have cut from here is 10.5 inches long. The cardstock piece is 5 1/8 inches high. They have cut each of the panels to be 2.5 inches. We're cutting each piece down 2.5 inches, and then it's scored across. There's a score line. I don't know if you can see it on yours, but there's a score line right across here at roughly the halfway point, and then they have trimmed out and scored here to allow a little, I'm going to say 3/8 inch flap. So that's what you would use as a template if you wanted to make your own from scratch. Me, I'd rather use a die cut. Die cutting and scoring is not really what I want to do. But I want to show you the die set I pulled this from. This is called the Decorative Floral Pop-Up Set from Tattered Lace. We do have these available in the store. The set number is 436379. And I want to show you this set because it's really cool. I want you to see the other stuff that's involved. Now, all we're using today is this die, which cuts and scores at the same time. And we're using this die, which is the little crossbars that we made and included in your kit. In order to complete 2 cards, we have 2 box spaces and 4 crossbars. So those of you who got kits from us should have 8 crossbars and 2 card boxes. Now, but look at all the rest of this cool stuff that's in here. All of these are sized to actually fit on this card. So you've got this beautiful filigree piece. You've got a filigree piece that has a matching box behind it so you can actually put a different color paper behind your filigree. We've got a variety of flowers that you could actually use as part of your pop-ups too, and that's fun. We've got another flower, we've got a pretty corner die, we've got this beautiful filigree heart with a cutout for that. We've got this pretty corner die, some feathers, we've got a bee, we've got this pretty little banner, and we've got this lacy box edge. We've got some other little hearts and accents, a little bird. There's a lot of dies in this, and I'm not sure if it tells me how many, but there are a lot of dies in this set. And I can't tell you the price right off the top of my head. It's going to be round and about in the area, I believe, of $50 to $60, which I know is not chump change. It definitely isn't. But if it's something, if you like the box cards and you decide you're going to make a lot of them, in the long run, you can actually save money over buying all of the blanks from somebody else. They actually die cut pretty fast. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to start by looking at my score lines, and I'm going to fold on my scores. So I've got a score line here, I've got a score line here, 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 and I'm going to begin by assembling my box simply by scoring on those lines.
Put your hands down on the table.
Sorry. So, scoring on those lines and adding a generous bit of glue to this little flap. So let's start by doing that. And then I'm going to hold that flap in place for just a second. Now you may be wondering, here I am, the queen of finger lift tape. In the last 2 weeks I've done a fair amount of gluing. Does that mean I'm abandoning tape? Absolutely not. For my card construction, I am all into finger lift tape. It's my favorite supply for that. But when you're doing 3D construction like this, or like the boxes that we did last week, you really want those pieces of paper to get fully bonded with some glue. And so I'm using a lot of glue anytime I'm doing 3D construction. We may do some 3D projects down the road in these weekly live streams, and if we do that, you'll see I will use lots of glue on those too. We did the most wonderful little barbecue last year. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold on the score lines for our other ones. A word of caution here: 3 of your panels are scored and 1 is solid. The solid panel is intended to be left unscored, guys. So I'm going to fold my little panels down here. I'm going to find the one that's not scored. There we go. That one is scored, so I'm folding it down. I think this is my solid. That is my solid there. Here's this one. I'm folding it down. Here's... which one of these 2 is not scored? The score lines aren't real conspicuous on this. So I guess if it doesn't score easily, it doesn't matter. There it is. This one's scored. Okay, so I have 3 of my flaps folded down. I'm leaving 1 tall. That's the back of my box. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to take these nifty-jifty little pieces here, and I'm going to use 4 of them for each of my cards. And you'll see that you have, it's basically, let's see how wide this is if you're wanting to make your own. Get my little magnetic ruler out here. Lots of you expressed interest in this magnetic ruler last week, and I wasn't able to immediately tell you how many of them we had. We do still have a couple of these left. They're called, if you search the word magnetic, you should find them. And this is 2.5 inches long with roughly a 3/8 inch score on either side. I'm folding the 2 score lines down. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it. And I'm going to create something that kind of looks like a table. See that?
Hands down.
Okay. I have to use different motions here for these live streams than I use for my regular videos, so forgive me if I keep getting out of camera range. I am used to lifting things up more to show you, and I need to hold them down. Now I'm reaching right inside my box, and I'm kind of putting that table on its side with the feet hanging down towards the back of my box. See that? And I'm just going to put it right here. Okay? I'm going to fold another one, and I'm going to put it right behind that one. And because we're gluing, be sure you hold those for a second and let them bond in place. Mine slid, so I'm reattaching. And this is where we're going to put all of our little acetate pieces to hold our floppy things in place. Little glue on that. Little glue on that. Now, if you wanted to do this with tape, you could do this with red liner tape. I would use that instead of my finger lift, though. Okay, putting my little crossbars in place there, and I'm just putting that right in behind my next one. I'm going to score another one here. Okay. All right, we have some discussion happening about the different pop-up boxes. Katie's saying she uses the Paper Wishes one, and it's larger. It says larger and not as pretty, but it still works well. I do like the hot off the press Paper Wishes version. Like I said, unfortunately, ours aren't going to last a whole lot longer. And hot off the press, now retailing as Paper Wishes, no longer makes wholesale available to us, so we won't have them for much longer. I'm taking the fourth piece. Now you'll notice, just to get my spacing nice, I put 2 at the top, and then I'm going to come up from the bottom with my other 2, just to make sure my spacing looks good in the middle, guys. Bryce is saying, get my hands down. Sorry. Okay. Well, we got kind of a rough start there this afternoon, didn't we? But we're learning, you know. Life's a learning adventure, and the things I put my family through, it's hard to believe what I put my family through, isn't it, Jordan? Jordan's out there today. Hello, Jordan. Whoops. Yes, I have the theme song of Rocky in my cell phone.
Turn off the sound.
I just turned it off. Okay. Anywhere I go that my cell phone goes off, no, it's me. There aren't very many people running around with Rocky music these days, but I like it. It makes me happy. I think it was a solicitor call anyway. I don't mind hanging up on them. Okay, there we go. So we got our crossbars in. They don't have to be perfect. They're just in here for function, not visibility. Okay, now I'm going to start cutting up my paper, and we've said that these panels here are 2.5 inches wide. Oops, that's centimeters. Let's try this side. Yeah, they're 2.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches long. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to just let this mat my card automatically, is I'm going to cut my squares to 2.25 by 2.25. And I'm going to cut myself a nice long strip of squares to use. I'm going to do my utmost to measure accurately today. I don't make any promises. Hi, Thelma. Welcome. All right. So out of one long waist strip of paper, cutting lengthwise, I had very little waste. This was all I'm throwing away out of that strip. And I got 5 pretty panels to use here. So I'm going to turn these around to where my butterflies are pointed upward. And I'm going to start gluing these panels in place. Now it's a matter of preference. The first one, the one on towards facing you, that one, I think you clearly want the butterflies headed towards you. Now, whether you want the butterflies still facing you on these side panels, or whether you want the butterflies going in other directions, I think that's a matter of personal taste. I think I'm going to have them all facing me on these front panels, just because. But, they're butterflies. They fly every which direction, so does it really matter? Probably not. So we're just going to put these down here. That looks pretty. And I'm going to get another one here. Put it here. You have 2 kinds of cardstock in your pack. And what I decided I liked, let's go to this one for just a minute. What I decided I liked is I thought that these butterflies were just a little bit too busy behind the geisha, and behind the flower box. Let me show you what I mean. I thought they were just a little bit too busy. Am I too high? Okay. I thought they were just a little bit too busy behind the geisha and the flower box. So I used the metallic piece behind them, and that actually kind of created an extra accent for that area, which I really liked too. So I'm putting the butterflies on the front of my box as well. And I'm going to reserve that metallic piece for mine, at least. You can do whatever you like, guys. And boy, you know, speaking of what you guys like, I love, love, love all the creative suggestions that you guys came up with for the project that we did last week. You had so many fun variations. If you haven't seen those, guys, go out to Facebook and take a look at some of the projects that people submitted for last week's project. I totally love it. And I'm expecting that a lot of you are going to be probably making your own variations on this. Please submit those so we can see them, because that's really fun for everybody to get to see what you're doing. So I love the fact that you guys shared with the group, and you can post them yourself. I believe our Facebook page will allow you to post personally, but if you want to just send them to me, I can put them up for you too. You saw I did that a couple of times this week, and I love the projects you came up with. Several people sent really fun ones. So thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. Hello, Thelma. I think I said hello to you before, but okay. You can't say hello to your friends too much. I guess you could have just stood there and just continually said hello, but Thelma's a retired art teacher. And we have lots of fun conversations, don't we, Thelma? Okay. Now, because I'm doing 2 cards out of this paper, and I want to be sure that I have enough to cover all of my panels, what I used on the bottoms here, and I wanted my bottoms covered too, because when you close it up, yeah, besides that, it's just kind of a good idea to keep your bottom covered. Okay, bad humor.
Excuse her, everybody.
Huh?
I said, excuse her, everybody. The inside voice got out again.
Oh dear. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to cover the bottom of my panel so that when my card is closed, it's still pretty. So I'm going to cut myself some 2 1/4 inch panels to go on the bottom of those flaps. Oh.
Now, are you changing your design?
Yes, this time I'm using the foil paper that I was talking about putting on the bottoms of the flaps. So I'm just going to cut myself a strip of those. There we go. And let's see. Are you guys still hearing me okay out there? I haven't seen a comment for a little bit. If you're still out there, give me a shout out. Let me know you're here. Didn't offend everybody and run you off with my bottom comment. Loud and clear. Thank you, Alice. Yeah, definitely loud. Always loud. Never. Katie says I could never run her off. Bryce calls that when I let my inside voice get out. Oh, what's life if you're not laughing, guys? Really? Oh, thank you, Margie. Margie put up the price of the pop-up dice set. It's $59.95, and when I do the newsletter that I will do to accompany this video, I'll put you a special price out there for the next little bit. just because I like you. And you're my friends, my crafty friends. Okay, now when we go to cover this back panel, we need this to be longer because we want it to go down inside. So I'm going to cut this panel slightly longer for that one. So we're going to cut with 2 1/4 wide because I want it to slip down inside there. But I'm going to cut it to twice the length. So I'm going to cut this to, I think I cut that unevenly. See what happens when I talk and cut? Yeah, it's nothing serious though. Okay, I'm going to cut this to 4 1/2 since I'm using 2 1/4 inch strips. And I'm going to glue this one in place right here. Okay. You go, girl. Oh boy. I love you guys. You're great fun. I've missed you this week. I wanted to, after last week's fun, I wanted to get right back out here and do another one. It seemed like a long week. I'm used to having crafters around all the time and day classes and our crafty friends, and so I found myself thinking, man, maybe we should do this more often. What do you guys think? Poor Bryce, I'm not sure he's up for it, but I'll throw that idea out there. You guys can tell me if it's a good idea or not. Brittany might kill me if I do craft kits more than once a week, but you know, Brittany loves me. She puts up with me. Oh, Katie says yes. Maybe we can do something that we could do with supplies around the house. Well, let me think on it and let me see what. How about doing a craft chat on Wednesday? That could be fun. That could be fun. Let's see what we can come up with there, guys. I think that would be fun. Oh, Alice says we'll be there. Miller says Hunkydory topper decks Eastern Paradise fits toppers the width of the box sides. There we go. Cards are 3 each of a design. Just need to cut a little off the length of the card to fit. Nillers, you are a lifesaver. Look at you. You're giving us some great ideas. I love that. Okay, we are ready, I believe. Oops, let's see. We are ready to start assembling our pop-ups. Now, I sent you in your kit a little piece of acetate. It doesn't take it a lot, guys, to make these little stands that I put the butterflies or the geishas on. See, you can. I hope you can see them there. So I'm way out of your screen. See, I'm only using like a 3/8. A quarter to the little tiny ones can go on 1/4 of an inch. The little heavier ones, I put those on maybe 3/8. I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to cut. So I'm going to get my long blade scissors, and I'm just going to cut me some strips. These do not have to be perfect. They're clear. They don't show, and they're just to hold our little components up. Now, you might have looked at that piece of acetate and thought, boy, she's being cheap. That's not much for two cards. But you can get so many strips out of one of these. And some of them we're not going to use the full length of. You know, some of the components towards the back get pretty high, and we may use most of a strip. But the components in the front are on little short ones. This is probably, I've only used, you know, an inch, 1.5 inches of that, 2 inches maybe. And I have all these strips, so, which you may not be able to see because they're clear on my table, duh. Let's see. You guys want to start with the geisha or the flowers? You got a preference? If I don't hear, I'm going with geisha. If you want the flowers, speak now or forever hold your peace.
There's about a 20-second delay. So.
Geisha. Alice says geisha. You're the first one I get to see, so geisha it is. Thank you, Alice.
Jordan says geisha too.
Jordan Hamilton says geisha too.
So does Katie.
Okay, so I'm going to pop out my geisha. Now with her, I'm not putting her on, lost my foam squares. You should have foam squares in your kit. I seem to have buried mine. I don't even have that much stuff out, guys, and I still manage to lose my stuff. How does that happen? Happen to be in a craft room with a whole lot of crafting supplies, though, so let me grab another. I won't have the pretty hunky-dory ones you have, but I use a pack of these. By the way, we have these in our store now. These are, this one happens to be 1.5 millimeters. It doesn't really matter, but, oh, I think they were in the lamb kit. It doesn't really matter for what I'm doing right now. A little bit of dimension out from the back is good, but I wanted to let you know that these are really good quality foam squares, and they cost a little bit less, so, you know, give them a try. These are also the ones that I told you about last week that are now available in 3 millimeters, so that's good to know. So give those a try and see what you think of those. That may have been, I'm not sure, that may have been what I had Brittany put in the kits, I don't remember. What? Margie, huh? It happens all the time. Craft Fairy stealing our stuff, for sure, Margie. Absolutely. Okay, I'll put a few foam squares on here. The other thing I like about these is they seem to the paper seems to pop off them fairly easily. I've gotten a couple of emails this week from people wanting to know when I'll have the 1 millimeter squares back in. I knew I was out of the 5 by 5 by 1s. I did not realize I was out of the 12 by 12s. So I have them on the list to go in with our next Hunkydory order. Hunkydory is fulfilling with a partial staff right now because UK's getting hit with this virus pretty hard too. So it might be a little while, but fortunately we have lots of good substitutions that are available to use. And in case we have anybody out there from UK today, I think Katie, you're from UK, right? Aren't you from across the pond? One of my Katies is from UK. So we're sending our regards to the people in UK that are dealing with the same thing we are. Hope everybody's staying well out there. You have to take care of yourself, my crafty friends. Stay in, stay well, stay safe. We need you. The world needs crafters more than ever with this stuff going on. We need people who make us happy. Katie says, I'm an Aussie, but I live in Southern Cal now. I think we have another Katie, too, that's from UK. I don't know if she's here today because she was here last week. But anyway, I know that the time differences really, they really messed up a lot of people. Okay, with the geisha, we absolutely have to have this big, beautiful fan. So I'm going to pop this fan out next. Now, sometimes people ask me, is there a difference if you pop from front to back or back to front? And I'm going to tell you that my preference is to push it from the back towards the front. And let me tell you why. Because even though this stuff is very well die cut, occasionally you'll get a little snag in it. And if it snags, you want it to snag on the back, not on the front of your pretty creation. So I do it that way. Now with this fan, it's pretty big. So with this one, let's use a little bit heavier piece of acetate and maybe glue it up a little higher. I'm just using my both tattered lace and my Cosmic Shimmer or PVA glue. In fact, I can't tell you the difference between the two. They may even be manufactured by the same company and sold under different labels. I don't know. Both of them are really good. It's a great glue that dries nice. It's clear, but it also dries flexible, which tends to make it hold really well. And it will hold this acetate really nicely, but you do have to give it a second to tack on there. So it's kind of a good thing to go ahead and maybe organize, some of your pieces, pick out what you're going to use, and go ahead and glue those all and let them sit for a minute before we start putting them in our box. I'm going to use this big flower here next. I'm going to kind of put that up towards her. This is not a heavy piece, but it is a high piece. So I'm going to use one of my longer ones. Get back there. Oh, Katie says she learned to cut her big squares down with the paper on so her scissors didn't get so gummy. Yes. Yes. I do have a good solution to that gummy scissor problem, though. You guys know that I am a strong proponent, a absolute lover of the product, Best Glue Ever. Out in our store, I only have a little bit of it. Now I'm telling you all about it at one time, and it'll probably run out, and I'll have to get more. But there is also a product called the Best Glue Ever Remover, and that is pretty good at getting adhesive off tools. We've had lots of different tool cleaners over the years, and every time we find one we love, the company seems to go out of business, and then we're left finding a new product. But the Best Glue Ever cleaner does work pretty well on your tools. So I see a couple of you saying, yep, putting that on my list. If it sells out, don't worry, I can get that one really fast. I actually know the lady over the years. I've gotten to know the lady Amy out of Seattle that makes the Best Glue Ever. We've had lots of conversations over time, and I can get that product fairly quickly. So not to worry, if we run out, I'll have it again shortly. I'm just punching out a few of these flowers while we talk. So what's going on in your world, guys? I mean, I know we're all kind of stuck home. What are some of the projects you guys are working on while the world is crazy out there and we're all staying home? Tell us a little bit about what you're working on and what you're having fun with. I'd love to hear about that, and I'd love, once again, I'd love it if you guys would post some samples and some examples on Facebook for us. That would be wonderful. If you have any trouble posting it directly, you can send it to my email, info@simplyspecialcrafts.com, and I'll put it up for you. I'm loving the samples, man. I haven't posted anything for a long time, and this week, with all the neat project ideas you sent and all the cards I got this week, I was able to post several things, one after the other. You guys were probably getting tired of seeing my name pop up in your email baskets. I hope I don't overwhelm you with my stuff. I'm not trying to do that. I don't want you to feel spammed. I just want you to hear from me when it's crazy out in the world, and you can use a happy face. So, and I am that. I'm very happy. You know, I have to stay home just like the rest of you, but I'm stranded in my favorite craft store. And I have to admit, my store is my favorite craft store. That might sound a little crazy, but it's true. I buy all the things I love. It happens that you love them too. So I have been creating like a crazy person here. I am having a great deal of fun. Not to say that I would wish this pandemic on anybody, but you got to make lemonade out of lemons, right? And I'm doing my best to try and keep you busy and happy and working along with some good things to work on. So tell me a little bit about what you're creating, guys. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, my beginning ones should be about dry. Oh yeah, see, that's really nice hold on that fan now. So I'm going to put in some of my biggest pieces first. I think I actually put a bigger fan on this one than I did the last one, but that's okay. It's good that things are different. I don't think I've ever truly made two projects alike, even though sometimes I try. In fact, I'm going to put that big fan right in front of her, because you know how they kind of do that holding up the fan for shyness things sometimes. Oops. I'm going to put that right in front of her, but I want to be able to see her face. Yep, I'm going to put that right in the middle there. The one thing you want to watch is try, to the extent that you can, to get the elements to stand up in such a way that you're still going to be able to close your box without them getting in the way. So test it now and again as you're putting your elements in. And all I'm doing, guys, is I'm gluing the acetate. Doesn't matter if you're gluing it to the front or the back. I'm gluing my acetate to my little crossbars that we put in there. And you can put it, you can try it to the front, you can try it to the back. Just try whatever you like and see what works well for you. I want another tall butterfly. I have a short one here, but I need another taller butterfly, so I'm gonna punch one of these. Maybe this littler one up here. I'll save those for my other card. And I'm gonna make a tall butterfly to go up by her shoulder, because I do like the way that looks on my sample. Is the pace of this going okay for you guys? It's not too slow. I haven't heard from anybody. Oh, there we go. Foam squares, 3mm hobby journal. Thank you, Margie. I know you can still hear if you're posting stuff out there, so thank you. You guys got to talk to me. Oh, Katie says she's sewing face masks. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about that too. If anybody wants it, I have a pattern. I don't sew. But if anybody wants it, one of my manufacturers sent me the pattern and instructions to make face masks. And I know one of the big things that people are facing out there right now is so many people are trying to sew them that elastic is getting hard to find. One of my manufacturers had fancy elastic bands, and they're like, I think the ones that I got are like a yard long and 4 to a package. And I have a bunch of those coming. When they come, I'm going to price them just to cover my costs of processing. And I'm going to put them out on our website really reasonably. I expect them to show up hopefully later this week, if not next week. But I will be posting some elastic really soon. So if anybody needs it, just let me know and I can post the oh, that's a good idea, Nillaris. I can post the pattern for those if anybody wants it. Maybe a lot of you already have it, and we talked last week about the fact that Joann's was giving away face mask kits. So maybe you have that already, but if you need that pattern, let me know and I will make it available if anybody wants it. And elastic is really hard to find. I went to all of my distributors and everybody was sold out. I looked at Amazon and it's like the middle of May before anybody's gonna get it. So, oh, Sandy, I love that. Her family's not going to be able to get over for Passover, so she made 20 Passover cards to send out. Oh, good girl. That's beautiful that you did that. That's going to make everybody feel loved and appreciated. That's wonderful. I'll post that elastic as soon as it gets here. I don't know if you guys want me to send you a message that it's here or not. Or I'll probably just include it in a What's New Wednesday or something. We'll make it one of Britt's bargains or something. By the way, what do you guys think of Brittany and Margie's videos? Aren't those fun? I'm so proud of them. First of all, I'm proud of them for doing it because they're both camera shy. You will notice that Margie has not shown her face on video yet, although I keep trying to coerce her into doing it. She's here now. You can encourage her. You will see her picture, however, in my store. If you go to the class kits part of our store, and you see the lady wearing the scarf, I convinced Margie she needed to be my model. She did not realize I was going to put her up in the store when I did that. Shame on me, sort of. She didn't get too mad at me. Although she did say you didn't say you were going to put it out for the world to see. I think she said something like that. But, you know, you got to do what you can to get these girls over their camera shyness. yeah, Margie says. But I'm so proud of them. Boy, this last video was really good. Really, really good. I think all three of them have been very fun. And I hope you guys are enjoying seeing the warehouse. We've been promising since we finished the warehouse that we would show you what the warehouse looks like. So I hope you're enjoying that. If you're getting bored with that, just tell me. We won't bug you anymore with shots of the warehouse. But lots of you asked about that. You'll notice I'm putting stuff in different places, guys. I just have to do it. Now this one, maybe I should have used a little stronger piece of elastic or acetate with this one. It wants to kind of flop. Actually, the floppiness, I think, in part is one of the things that make these cards fun, though. The fact that they move. All the little pieces. So. Oh, yay! Oh, your hubby's going to do the class kit too? Yay! Fun, fun, fun. I love this cowl neck that we have coming up, guys. It is so fun, and you will not believe how easy this is. Now, those of you who knit, you have my utmost admiration. I have tried a dozen times over the years to learn to knit, and it's just not something I was meant to do. You know, I split stitches and I do all kinds of crazy stuff when I knit. I get it so tight I can't get the needle to go through, and I just do all kinds of crazy stuff when I'm knitting, and it never turns out the way I want. So I've tried knitting, I've tried crochet, I have the same problem, but I do love and do well with loom knitting. And finger knitting is great fun for me. I really, really am enjoying finger knitting. It's more like macrame in a way. And you know, I'm a child of the 70s. I did lots of macrame in the day. So it makes perfect sense to me what we're doing when we're finger knitting. So if you liked macrame back in the day, or maybe you still like it, it's actually kind of making a bit of a resurgence. I'm seeing stuff for macrame out there in the distributor sites now. So if you like macrame, I think you'll enjoy finger knitting. I'm sorry I went off camera. One of my flowers was misbehaving. I have to get it back where it belongs. Oops. And it does not belong in her face. Okay, there we go. And I'm not holding these quite as long as I should be because I'm doing this on camera and trying to move through here. But you guys can get the drift of what we are doing or should be doing here. So, let's see if we can get this in here. Jordan says her projects always turn out unrecognizable. Oh, and
Hi, Linda.
Oh, let's see. Linda Smith. Hello, Linda Smith. Okay, let's see. Yeah, those macrame pot holders. You remember those? You know what? I'm actually seeing kits for those out there on the distributor sites, believe it or not. They're selling those again. In fact, we were planning, Margie and I were planning to do, before the world turned upside down for a little while here, we were planning to do a spring workshop, Crafters Weekend. And one of the projects we wanted to do was a macrame dream catcher. And we were going to do the dream catcher and then decorate with beads and feathers and stuff, and we thought that was going to be great fun because it'd be so much different than all of our normal stuff. But I didn't order them in yet because the world did go crazy, and I don't know. What about you guys? You guys have, oh, yes, macrame owl keychain. Laura says, I like seeing your warehouse since I can only look online for products. Okay, and I'm going to put one more flower here. Okay. And I may decide after I've done my other one that I want more, but I'm going to stop right there for now, guys. Because I kind of like the spacing of things. My fan might be just a tad high. I'll take my fan down just a little if it'll still move. There we go. And I may rearrange it just a little bit, but you can get the drift of what we're doing here. You guys like that project? Pretty, is it clear as mud what we're doing? Back in the 70s, I actually had it wasn't really a craft store, I was making projects and selling them. And I did custom macrame, and that's back in the day when macrame was really hot. I was doing custom macrame lamps and tables and stuff for lawyers' offices and other things. I'm amazed now that ever was so popular, but they were beautiful. It was great fun. I loved it. I used to teach when I was graduating from high school. I taught macrame for a little craft store. That was great fun. Now I've decided that I am allergic to jute. So I can't do anything out of jute anymore. Oops, dropped one. I can't do anything out of jute anymore, but I still love the polyester blends and cotton blends that you can use. Okay. All right, we're only going to do one of these on camera, guys, because you do exactly the same thing with the other one. We can, I mean, when we get done here, we may decide to work along together and just continue to chat and work on some more, but for right now, I think we're going to switch gears. There it goes again. We're going to switch gears and go to our other card kit. Anybody have any questions as we're going about the other card kit, about this one before we move on? Every time I see one of the kits from Hunkydory come through with a lot of little bitty pieces, this is the thing I think about. I saw today that Hunkydory is going to be coming up with another butterfly kit pretty soon, so that'll be fun. I always enjoy those when they come out. Okay, switching gears here. We're going to do our little Easter cards. This is going to be quick and easy, but I just thought, you know, we can't let Easter get by without having some kind of an Easter project. So girls went down and found these kits for me and said, we have enough of these to make class kits. So as usual, I don't just want to make one card. Hunkydory says, just layer them up and you can use that. I'm going to make one using this card base. That's my base sheet that they supply. And I'm going to make one on my cardstock here. Set those aside for just a minute. I'm going to punch out my pieces, starting with the largest piece first. And this does not have a lot of layers to this particular piece. So I will warn you that this one will not have as many layers as a lot of them that we get because the pieces are so very large. However, they will still fit on a 5x7 card. And pop out all those extras because, you know, sometimes I tell you when we're doing like the Deco large kits that you need to look at the piece that you have available and what your background for that will be before you punch out all the extras. In this case, we're using a full image for each extra, so I can take out all the extra punchies. And if you're to see where those punch outs are, it's almost easier to see them sometimes from the back. So you can look in the back and see where all those little punch out pieces are. So I'm taking those off. Okay, and I could put it on either one. This is really almost a full image, this little lamb here. And just because this is the extra piece, I think I'm going to go ahead and put it on this one. Ah, there's my Hunkydory thicker foam squares. I want these. And just a hint, if you're doing a kit that doesn't have as much dimension, these thicker, the thicker foam squares that we talked about, the 3mm, this is a really good job. I don't have them right here. I'm using 2mm Hunkydory, but the 3mm squares were a really good choice when you don't have a lot of layers because it makes things stand up more. Just a thought. You don't need to completely cover the thing with foam squares. I just add a few here and there just to make sure it stands up good. That's about right. If I had to guesstimate, I'd say 1 every square inch or so, give or take. This is a great big piece. It probably doesn't have 1 every inch. What else are you guys working on at home? Lisa sent me a cartoon the other day that showed all empty shelves and said this is what our craft rooms are going to look like by the time we by the time we finish our social distancing. If your craft room shelves are completely empty, that's not a huge problem. I know where you can get more. Okay. And yes, you're not imagining it. I'm sticking my thumb on him to make sure that I got all the paper off because I seem to miss that sometimes. There we go. All right. 2 ways you can tell if the paper's off. One, it's shinier after the paper gets off, and 2, stick your finger in it. Okay, I'm going to put this little lamb right down on top there. That's interesting. I got it off just a little bit. One nice thing about foam squares, guys, they're very forgiving. You can pop those loose normally and put them right back down. Okay. Anybody else got a project you're working on? I know Margie just made a spectacular, really wonderful car seat for her new granddaughter. It's a car seat cover. Oh my gosh. She custom fitted it with amazing fabrics and it's beautiful. Really beautiful. What else are you doing while you're stuck at home? Anybody cooking? I've actually been cooking some, which might not sound like a big deal. I'm sure you guys cook every day. I don't. Bryce cooks in our house and he's a spectacular cook. And I am lucky enough to enjoy the results of his cooking experimentation and his joy of cooking every day. Lauren, my youngest daughter who lives at home, also enjoys cooking. Today they're making cinnamon rolls with cream cheese orange dressing or frosting on them. my next biggest piece, so I'm going to go to my second topper with this one. And you can see what I'm doing, guys. I'm just going back and forth between the two. How many of you out there actually have your class kit for today's class? If you decide you want to do this, I think there's still a few of them left in the store. I am going to take about 5 minutes here, guys. You guys chat amongst yourselves, and I'm going to be right back. I do apologize. I need to step out for just a minute. Look who came to see us, guys. Hey, hi, Teddy. Hi, Ted. Oh, you try to get down a little bit. I don't want him on my cards. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Okay. He'll probably be shaking our microphone, doing all kinds of stuff here, but he's always popular. Alrighty. Am I back? You got me muted still?
No, you're back.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your patience. Jordan says, hi, little brother. Jordan's been in Connecticut since we got Teddy, so she hasn't been able to meet him in person yet. Yeah, I'm pretty much looking forward to those cinnamon rolls too. I am so sorry to take off on you guys. You give me the courtesy of your time and I take off and run into the house for a minute, but I do appreciate your patience with me. Okay, let's put this one down. This is my next largest piece. Teddy just opened the door and let himself out. Those little poodles, I'm telling you, they're just too smart for my own good. We had a contractor here this morning putting some boards under our cyclone fence in the back because my puppy has learned to get under the fence and go in and visit his friend the goat. Yes, we still have our goat. His name is Milo. And he's wonderful, but goats play a little rough for puppies. So I kept worrying about it being in there, and then I thought, if he's figured out that he can get under this fence to go down and visit the goat, how much longer will it take till he figures out that he can go under the goat fence and go wander the neighborhood? So, placed a call to our friendly neighborhood contractor, and he sent somebody out today to shore up the fence and puppy-proof it. So Teddy will not be, he'll have to play with Milo through the fence. He does too, Teddy and Milo. Oh, there he is. Yep, there's a picture of Milo. Bryce has got it on his cell phone. Milo is a character, I'm telling you guys, he's funny. He's a Nigerian dwarf goat. But Teddy will go down and bark and bark and bark until Milo comes up to the fence, and then they run down the fence line together. And when Milo comes up to get his cookies from Bryce at night, he gets apple oatmeal horse cookies every day from Bryce, who's his favorite person. He and Teddy touch noses through the fence, and then it's not long till they're off and running again. But they're actually really cute together. Little puppy and a big goat. Now Milo's not that big. He's what do you think, honey? About 60 pounds?
Yeah.
He's about the size of a good sized German Shepherd. I see that Katie and Nillers are talking about doing the masks. I'm so glad you guys are doing that. Maybe one of my friends who sews will make me a mask, so when I have to go to the grocery store I can wear it. I don't sew, but I do find elastic for you, so there I do have a purpose in life. I hope that comes in soon. I'm really anxious to get it here. I've gotten probably half a dozen calls in the last 2 or 3 days from people who are wildly searching for elastic and just hoping maybe we would have some sitting on a shelf somewhere, which I do not since I don't sew, but I went in search of and did find some. Like I said, they're decorative packages, and it's some of it's neon and some of it's pink and some of it's blue, and but you know what, I figured if we're looking for it and we need it, we'll take what we can get. Like I said, I'm going to price it really, really reasonably so that it's just really kind of recouping my cost. Oh yeah, Teddy and Milo does sound good for a kid's book, doesn't it? Yeah. So there's no magic to what I'm doing here, guys. I mean, I'm not talking a lot about my project, but I'm just going from one card to the next, just kind of adding layers. Now there's a limited number of the big pieces, but there's quite a big number of the little pieces. So you can kind of go back and forth and keep decorating this for a while. I may not put all of my layers on while you guys are waiting, although if some of you, how many of you are working along with this? Are some of you working along with this? Because if you're working along, I'll just keep working along. But if you're waiting to do yours until afterwards, then I won't bore you by watching me put foam squares on all the little pieces and go back and forth. So give me some feedback, guys. I did not order chenille stems. I probably could get some of those too if they're in short supply, although I know we can get those usually at the Dollar Tree, although you may not all have a Dollar Tree near you, and maybe they're sold out of those as well. If we find that you can't find those, let me know and I'll see what I can do to get a hold of some. I think we can still get the chenille stems for the nose pieces, but if I'm wrong about that, you guys tell me and I'll see what I can do. Not a sewer, but I'm a really good shopper. For those of you who might be wondering, yes, we're down to one goat. We've always had two, but we lost our little girl goat in the fall. She had cancer. And so we've been watching Milo carefully because usually goats want to be packed or herd animals and they want to have more than one in their herd or they're unhappy, but Milo seems to be compensating well as long as he has plenty of... Hi Daria, welcome. I'm glad you could join us even for part of it. That's awesome. Milo seems to be compensating pretty well with his visits from Bryce and his visits from Teddy. He's still eating well. He seems happy enough. The Nigerian dwarf goats are very personable. You can tell what they're thinking because they're smart, and you can kind of tell what they're thinking. For example, they are fair weather creatures, and we live in Oregon. So when it rains, they would stand under the trees with their heads down almost to the ground saying, "Oh, drears." Kind of like Eeyore the donkey when he's unhappy about things. That's kind of what Milo looks like when he's unhappy because the weather's not cooperating. And he doesn't seem to be doing that, so we're pretty pleased that so far he seems to be compensating okay. We've had goats now for how long, honey? About I'm going to say 13, 14 years, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always tried to have two at a time, and we're getting to a point where hauling hay out and, just giving shots and doing hooves and the other things you have to do when you have goats. We'd kind of like to someday retire from the goat business, but we're not about to give away our pet. So we let life take its normal course, and when Milo decides to retire to another plane, then we may be done with our goats, although we'll have to see what happens. We originally got them because the grass in our field behind our house got so tall that I was just terrified that we were going to have a fire down there. It's right on the side of a public walking trail, and we were afraid some kid someday would flick a cigarette over that fence, and it's uphill to the house, so fire burns uphill, we know that, and we didn't want a fire to take out our house before we ever knew there was a problem. So we got goats to chew it all down instead, and I gotta say, they have done a remarkable job of doing their job. What used to be all brambles and bushes and blackberry vines and very tall grass is now nice, well trimmed up little grassy patches, and the briar bushes are gone completely. Every time they try to poke their noses back through where the little green parts come through, the goat's right there to nibble them off because that's a delicacy. So they've done a heck of a job of doing their job, our little goats have. They've been a lot of fun too. I'll bet your pets are enjoying having you around. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Somebody talk to me. I'm just talking away here. You guys still out there? Hello, hello, hello. Am I on my own? Oh, I'm still here. Okay, thank you, Katie.
We have 18 watchers.
We have 18 people on right now, and that's just the people who are signed in. I think that it doesn't count those who are maybe not signed in. Okay. Cool.
You got 6 thumbs up so far.
Thank you. Thank you, Jordan. Katie says she's typing with foam pad fingers. I love it, Katie. A true crafter. True paper crafter, at least. You're funny. Okay, I have a few extra little things like, well, maybe, yeah, let me go ahead and put them on. We're almost there. We're almost there. You guys aren't in a hurry, are you? I don't know, I'm just enjoying having company. Like I said, I'm so used to having all my crafty friends here that this life of isolation. And notice you only wear your mask when you go out though, don't you, hon? Do you wear it all the time? I see that just the last couple of days the CDC is recommending that we all wear them when we go out. Not for our protection, because they won't do much to protect us, they say, but they will protect other people if we wear them, which is equally important, I guess. The cheese is wrapped in your plastic crafting envelope, huh? Oh, you're funny. You're funny. Sometimes it's like a little jigsaw puzzle to figure out where they want you to put these pieces, isn't it? But I've always liked jigsaw puzzles, so I guess that's okay. I don't do many of them. And I guess I do quite a few of this style. Where's my little ruffle? So even though this particular kit had a lot of big pieces, had a lot of little pieces and not a lot of big pieces, I still think we get some pretty good dimension, don't you guys? You check that out. Okay, let's go ahead and make our cards. We're going to take our, you know what I didn't get here was my easy tear tape. But I happen to have some handy. Always have the easy tear handy. A rule I kind of live by. Okay, I'm going to run through with you again my technique for covering a card. You probably all have your own techniques, but my technique for covering a card: 3 strips of finger lift tape, one at the very top, one at the middle, one at the bottom. Expose my adhesive. Remember, if it gives you any hard time peeling it, tear it from the center and pull back both directions. Okay, there's one of my little foam squares trying to get into my adhesive. That's the other thing. We go into the house with our lever crafting area with little foam squares all over us. what I like to do when I'm putting my card on, guys, and I'm not sure I've said this in your group before or in a video that you've seen before, I've talked about this in classes, is put the folded side of your card to the inside of your cardstock, not to one of the edges, because every other edge could be trimmed up if you get off a little bit, but the folded edge, that's stuck there, the folded edge is, you can't trim that, so you got to come up with another way to hide it if you get your card off just a little bit. But if I've got my folded edge up, then I can just cut along that and I know I'm going to be okay. Then I can look at my other edges and see if any trimming is warranted. Once I put my card on my cardstock, I just take my long blade scissors. I like my long blades for this because the less wax you have to take at it, the less likely it is that you'll get off somewhere along the process. And I like the way that looks. And on this one, I didn't do anything to this one except put this cute little enjoy the special day topper above my lamb. The nice thing about these layered cards is that they just don't need a lot of embellishment to look really good. I don't think I need bows, I don't think I need ribbons, I don't think I need some of my glittery friends, Corey, Laura, Lisa, might disagree, but I don't think it needs glitter. I'm just going to put this right across the top. And this card is done. Katie signing off there. I see Katie saying bye to Margie.
No, Margie's gonna go pick up the baby.
Oh, Margie's going to get the baby.
Yep.
Okay, see you, Margie. Okay. That's why Margie isn't here today, because she thought she might get called right in the middle of our video to go and pick up baby. And, you know, as much as I think that crafting is critical, it probably takes second fiddle to going and getting your grandbaby from the hospital. So we wish our baby Lily all speedy recovery. Okay, only to go out, I see. So you only wear your mask when you're going out? Yeah. Bye, Margie. Baby Lily's so pretty. She's such a sweet baby. You know, she would say, I don't think Margie would care that I said that she was a C-section baby. Kind of emergency delivery sort of thing, and you know, C-section babies are just so pretty. She's already really beautiful at only a couple weeks old. I probably said this before, but I asked Jordan when I'm getting grandbabies, and she sent me an ultrasound picture of a womb with a puppy in it. I think that was my answer. But I have beautiful grandpuppies. I do, Gypsy and Kid. I have beautiful grandpuppies. Okay, just covered my second card. I'm going to put this topper on it. And we have a couple really nice borders left on our border sheet. And we can use both or none. Whatever your pleasure. I'm going to do the especially for you down the border. And I don't have an insert for this one because this is an older kit and we kind of used what we had. But I'm going to put my border strip here, and then I'm going to do this Made with Love on the inside just to add a little extra element to the inside of my card. So my glue here, add a little glue to my border strip, Lily was anxious to join the world. She started trying to make an appearance very early, and her mama's just a little bit of a thing. And so they were pretty pleased to be able to get her to hold off as long as she did, but she was just a little bitty thing, but long, very long, but lightweight. And so, you know, sometimes they need a little extra help in the beginning, but she's a trooper. She's coming along. Okay, I'm going to put some foam squares on the back of my lamb just because I can. I get a little extra dimension that way. Next week, we're doing the turtle cards, and you really, really want to tune in for that. If you didn't get your kit, you want to get that one. We're going to make 5 cards. We're going to make a center step. We're going to make a side step. We're going to make a center fold. We're going to make a 4x8. What am I forgetting? Oh, and we're going to make a shaker card. And you get everything to make all of those. And it is going to be great fun. This is absolutely one of my favorite classes to teach. We have a couple of my favorites coming up. I love to teach that one. I like all of them because I like visiting with my friends. But I especially like the turtles. I think they're beautiful. We get to glitter, and we get to put on rhinestones, and we get to put in shaker elements. And with that kit, you're getting an entire roll of shaker tape in your kit for that class. So for $15, that class is a really, really good value. Really good value. And speaking of good values, I just put up, here's my lamb card. I just put up the newest craft kit that we're going to be doing in our Saturday classes, our live stream classes, and it's a dot and do kit. And talk about values. And that one, you're getting a tiny pair of detail scissors. You're getting a pair of Quilled Creations quilling tweezers. You're getting foam squares. You're getting a roll of tape. You're getting the card kit. You're getting the envelopes. We're making sure you have every single supply you need to do those dot and do cards, and those are great fun too. There'll be lots of socializing as we do that one because there's lots of detail work, but that's a great one for you guys to tune in, and we just talk while we do that one, because it is lots and lots of detail work, but you'll enjoy working on it while we're doing it. So think about getting that one. And you have so many reusable tools from that class. And that one too is going to be just $15. So I'm trying to price these. I know this is a lot coming at you at one time, you know, where we're doing these classes every week. But I need a baby wipe, hon. Would you get one over there? Well, we got these classes coming at you every week. I'm trying to price them so that we're not breaking the bank, but still giving you a good opportunity to work along, because that's the real fun, if we can do it together. So you guys can tell me how it's going and what you like. So do you guys want to work on the other box card, or do you think you got what you need? Because we are pretty much finished with our 2 Easter cards. Am I down low enough that you can see?
Yeah.
We got our 2 Easter cards finished. We used that up. We made good use of our supplies. I'll tell you, this is our leftovers. I love it when I can get to the end of the kit, and I know I used everything usable. Although there's still a really pretty border there. And we've done our Oriental card. You guys want to see what else I'm working on? This one, I think, is going to end up being a video for just a regular taped video, because I think the kit's going to get bigger than a a live stream class video. But I'll show you what I'm working on anyway. About, maybe 2 years ago, I did a video using these 3D punch outs by Reddy and Stansbogen and some other companies. And it was really, really popular. And I promised you then I'd put some more kits together. Well, things being like they are, I didn't get right to it. So I just put together another of those kits. It has, I think, it has 6, I believe it has 6, don't quote me on that, but I believe it has 6 pages of punch outs, a dozen cards and envelopes, foam squares, 2 sheets of border and corner stickers, and I may end up adding some more stuff yet to the class kit because while I love the way these are turning out, I think I want to offer some other ideas to you for how to use these as well. But I've been doing these cards and I'm really featuring the border and corner stickers in designing the card. So you can see how simple the card design is here. But this happy birthday was in the kit. These Decoupage flowers are in the kit. The gold corners and borders you can see featured in this one. And all I'm doing is just outlining my card and putting, in this case, it was kind of unusual because I put the corners to the inside of the borders. Here's one where I included the corners right in the border and corner. And this background paper here was a part of the kit also. Here's another one of the Decoupage flowers that's in the kit. I'm also going to give you a half sheet of these tiny words and phrases. So you can see what I've done here. I've just kind of used a crossbar on my corners to just give it a little extra flair. And the card design is simple. Although the cards I'm including in this kit are these rich, beautiful pearlescent cards. I'm pretty happy with those. I like the way they're looking with the colors. You'll get some black and white. Actually, this is called silver, but it's actually black and white. I made this sympathy card. And look what we did with the corners there. And kind of some little, almost teardrops under the sympathy. But I think that's turning out pretty. Imagine what this would look like on a black card. That's what I mean when I say that I'm looking at doing some other things. I'm looking at this thinking, oh, I need things that aren't in this kit. So the kit might get bigger, and that's why it might have to be a video instead of a work-along class kit. Look here. That silver, just so pretty on the green pearlescent. That's as simple as they come, but how pretty. Here's one where I'm doubling up the lines and making a tall, skinny box in the center, putting my words in there, a couple little dots. Simple, simple, but pretty. Now, this is something I have to do. I admit this particular flower is not part of this kit, but I brought this over to show you some of what I want to do. I cut a piece of velveteen paper to go in the back there, and I'm looking at that thinking, you know, I really kind of need to do some of this. Here's one that just says, get better quick. But aren't they pretty? Making an X in the center of my card and then just using my border strips to decorate. Here's one where I took double stick tape and glittered it. The hearts are double stick tape. And then put that behind my roses. So not all of these are this kit, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of where we're going with this. And this is going to be really fun. And I don't know, maybe you guys know all these techniques already, and there certainly is another video out there, but I promised eons ago I'd do another one because that kit, when we did it, sold out within hours of the time that I put it up. So I've been promising to do another, and if I do a kit, I probably better do a video, because if I don't do a video, I'll get emails from you guys saying, where's our video? So I'm here for you. So what do you think, guys? Was this useful? And again, I do apologize for taking off in the middle of our break here. I just had to step out for a minute. Any thoughts, questions, pearls of wisdom? Excellent, Katie. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Well, ask people to join us. We'll get better and better at it. You know, we have a little snafu here and there, but you know, we're getting better at it. It's like everything else. You kind of have to learn what you're doing. But I'm sure having fun presenting them, and I hope you guys are having fun hanging in there. So next week, turtles. If you didn't get your turtles yet, get them. They're a really, really good value and so very cute. So very cute. We'll have great fun doing that, and we'll make 5 cards out of those and do some kind of fun and unique things. So I guess that's it. Then I'm stalling because I kind of want to hang out with you guys, but you know, we're really finished. So I'm Debbie from Simply Special Crafts, and we'll see you next time, guys. Love you. Bye.